Coming up on the Luke Beasley Show.
With 2 children.
What? No, stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it right now, Doug. You are being, I'm all fun and games, but you're also being so agitating right now. To be for real, you did not even try to listen to what I said. If you think no, stop it.
I'll do it. I'll make
Listen,
sure.
Doug.
Yes, go. Don't patronize me when you're doing that.
Oh my God. Me not patronize you? You start.
This is exactly how I would start that same conversation. Hey, everybody. I don't walk in everybody's shoes. I don't. All right. Well, now this will get harsher, and I apologize.
And you're gonna mention my age. You're gonna mention my life experience because you're not able to craft good arguments without saying that. Oh, the reason I know more than you is because I'm older than you. If you actually knew more than me, you would be able to craft an argument that made that clear to everyone who is watching. But because you can't craft a clear argument of why I'm wrong, you just go back to, oh, I just know more than you.
Actually, most don't. I shouldn't say not everybody. Most don't. You know, over 50% of straight marriages end in divorce. But I just really want to just talk about what you just said.
All right, so to give context, we're watching the Charlie Kirk speech, and Charlie Kirk said something about if you feel like you have the one, then go ahead and just get married. Don't wait. And I said it's actually really...
You're probably getting contradictory advice. You're probably getting advice. It's great that you have this serious relationship. It's understandable that you think he's the one. Go pursue your career, go make a bunch of money, and you can marry him in 6 years from now. How many people hear this all the time, right? Hear this all the time. That's a bunch of garbage, okay? Now, if you believe it is the one, why would you wait to go get a career at some stupid company and then, why would you do that exactly?
Don't wait. And I said it's actually really good if after you get out of college, before you immediately marry, if you learn how to be independent and financially stable. Ideally, it's really helpful because then if you enter into a relationship and you get married with someone, you can know that you're with them because you love them and because they are a good partner for you and not because you are financially or in any way dependent on them. And so it is very, very helpful. Two, if you have the opportunity to get out of college and before you get up married with somebody, you teach yourself how to live by yourself and all those things. Ideally, that's really helpful for the rest of your life, but obviously not everyone can do that. Now, Doug, what is your problem with that statement?
Yeah, great, because I just shut off your stream. Let me just tell you, you're there, right?
Yeah.
The idea that a 20-year-old male, considering also what we're going through in these times with abortion debates and everything else, can even think about telling a woman what she can or cannot do or what is optimal or not optimal.
What?
It sounds very much like what the right is doing.
Wait, you muted. I can't hear you. What is happening?
Just think that you come from a different place.
Wait, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Okay, now why is it like going out every once in a while?
Well, I think you just come from a completely different place, and you have to respect the fact that you don't understand what a young mother goes through with 2 children.
What? No, stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it right now, Doug. You are being, I'm all fun and games, but you're also being so agitating right now. To be for real, you did not even try to listen to what I said. If you think stop it. If you think that I am at all talking about how difficult and how I could never understand how difficult it is to be a single mother, but who he's talking to is college students primarily who haven't yet gotten out to the world and hopefully aren't mothers, because it's very difficult to be in college and to be in your teens or early 20s and be a mother. If you don't think that's difficult, then you're crazy. crazy. But clearly you're saying that is difficult. And I think it's difficult too. And that's why I think it's very helpful for someone's life. It'll be easier if before they have kids, before they're married, they go out and they're independent in the world. They don't have to. I'm not telling them what to do. They can do whatever they want. Why do you talk to me like this? You literally are perfectly capable of, if you can, being independent for a while and then going on to get married. But if you are not capable, then absolutely that's very difficult. And I completely applaud people who are able to live life like that.
Let me tell you, Luke, you're doing two things. You're putting an onus on women in that situation, and then you're also dictating to women that are in a situation, or that are in a situation that you are never going to be in.
And now you're muted again. I can't hear you.
About what she should do with her children, her body, or anything else. And yeah, I am like, I'm a little like disturbed with you, but I think that you're trying to come from it at a good place, but it's not the way it's sounding. If there's any older women that are in this stream right now,
you want to know something, Doug? You want to know who told me and my sister and my brothers that we should try to get out in the world? And I just had a conversation with my older mother, who's older than me. I mean, she's a young hottie, but my mother who's older than me, and literally we were talking today about it is so helpful in life if you can, if you are able. I'm not dictating it to you. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying if you are able, it is so helpful in life to go out and be independent for a while before you are both dependent on and someone else is dependent on you. Because then you get to learn, wow, I can do it by myself. And then I can be with someone else and we can have a pure, stable relationship because we both know we love each other and we're co-equals, and one of us isn't dependent on the other because we've both lived independent before we were with one another.
That's not the decision that a lot of people have. There's
what? I said if you have the opportunity.
Right. And not everybody, actually most don't. I shouldn't say not everybody, most don't. You know, over 50% of straight marriages end in divorce. I mean, and so that means that there's usually kids involved, right?
What'd you say?
I said most straight marriages end in divorce, which means there's kids involved with that. They go in with good intentions, but then all of a sudden, you know, this is the...
I'll just wait for you to come back.
You just don't have it. You don't have a position or even a right
Can you hear
to
me?
dictate that to a woman. I mean, you know, I'm being like as nice as I can about that when I'm saying that to you, but I don't know. I guess that's just something I've learned over the years.
Wait. First, do you understand? Ready? And you have to just don't expand in any more on it. Do you understand the difference between? Oh wait, did my camera? So, do you understand the difference between advice and dictating something to someone?
Do you understand?
No. Answer my question and I'll answer yours. Answer my question and I'll... Do not ask a question to my question. Answer my question, please, Doug.
Woman, do you understand that?
I didn't hear what you said because I need you to answer my question.
Oh. Do I understand?
Just so you know, you cut out again. So
we keep cutting out, and I apologize for that.
Re-say what you were just saying.
I said, I said, I understand advice, but I also understand implied dictation to when you say, as a 20-year-old man, about what...
Can't hear you. Oh my gosh. Jeez. I like it both better. Okay.
Well, because that's what you're used to, right?
Yeah. And I think you can
what women are used to. Women are used to men dictating to them for generations now. And women had the ability 50 years ago to have a right over their own body. It's about to go backwards again. And what I'm afraid of is that, somebody that's 20 years old that doesn't have a vagina doesn't understand that when you dictate what the optimal is for a woman, it's just like saying to your daughter, this is what you should do, honey. And I think that's what resonates with women. And that's just my advice.
So do you think we should never say what would be ideal to anyone? We should just, no, I don't have any advice for my help you in your life. I hate you so much that I don't even want to say a single thing that I think might make your life better. So don't listen to anything I say. Just live life however you want. No, of course you give advice to people. They don't have to take it, and you can talk about the ideal, and it won't necessarily be what everyone can do. A lot of times, most people won't be able to do it, but you still will tell people, hey, ideally, before man or woman, before you get out and marry someone, it's really nice to become independent, learn about finances, all those things that it forces you to do whenever you're independent, and then you're so much more able to be in a relationship where you're not dependent on them because you've been independent before. But if you get right out of college or you're in college and you marry someone, it's hard to know if you know how to be independent
Can I ask you a
because
question?
you've never done it before. Go for it.
Can I ask you a question about your background? Do you come from a very conservative area or a conservative family?
I come from Austin, but I was always on the edge of Austin. So on one side of me is super conservative, and on the other side is Austin, which is sort of liberal.
Because some of the things that I hear from you in what you're saying, and I don't believe that it's coming from a mean place. I really don't. But it is very dictatorial to women about what you think is the ideal. And let me just tell you, what you think the ideal isn't the reality. You want to talk about what you just said about, isn't this the way everything should be? That's in your world. In the real world is people that are born in poverty that have 3 children by the time they're 18 or 19 years old. In the real world, there are women that are raped. In the real world, there are women that choose, as a Republican against abortion, to have a bunch of kids because of extenuating circumstances with an ex-husband. There are women that are out there that are not that much older than you, Luke, that deserve, I just think, a little bit more of perspective from you, that you have to understand that you're not in that situation. So it's very hard to tell somebody what the ideal is. I'm not telling you how to behave or what to think or how to act. And I would hope that you wouldn't do that to any women that are out there. And I really mean that. And I mean it from a good place in my heart. Don't get me wrong. It's just something that I think you need to learn. And not to be mean. And again, not to be mean.
Oh my God, this is looking horrible. 1 second, I need to sort this out.
That's not. And I'm just going to say, and I hope you put me on when I'm saying this, because I did get a lot of reaction to and believe it or not, if you watched before you did the Pac-Man show, our interview was the most watched. I don't know why, but I did get some comments of people saying, I think he's a really good kid, and I watch him for the same reason that you do, and the same things that you have said about Luke. That he's somebody to watch, somebody that is hopeful, somebody that you're. So I hope you understand that when we're having this back and forth.
Yeah, I recognize your general respect for me, and I appreciate it, and it's mutual. But okay, now that our screen is all set up, I can address your argument. Now it's pointed all weird. Okay.
What screen?
It's just you'll see if you watch this back. Okay, so.
All right.
I literally don't. It sounds like you're either kidding with me or like literally don't have reading comprehension listening comprehension, because it is wild how you would take me saying, hey, it's really good if you're able to be independent, learn how that feels before you get into a marriage. I think that's just really good experience in life, to take that as like, however you took it. It's just wild that was your takeaway. But I guess I have a question to ask you. Do you think being raped is ideal?
Of course not. But I do believe in the woman's choice to either carry to term or to have an abortion. I believe in a woman's choice to do whatever she wants with her body. I would never be a person that would tell a woman what is ideal, because telling a woman what is ideal is.
Do you think a single woman on the planet would say being raped is ideal?
Are you listening to what I'm saying? When you talk to somebody and say that this X, Y, or Z is ideal, it is dictating to them what to do with their body.
God, to vote the man is bitter.
It just is. It just is. Because you're qualifying their choice. And it is their choice. It is not yours. And it is not any place for even you. I mean, if you were a woman and telling your best friend, this is my opinion, you would have a stronger argument than being you as a male and doing the same thing.
So let's do a hypothetical. Let's say I become a single father, or even just a father. I'm gay. I'm planning on having a husband one day, and I'm planning on hopefully having, adopting kids. How should I talk to a daughter if I have a daughter and give her advice? Should I give her no advice? Because I'm a man. I don't know anything. Give her no advice? Go out in the world, she doesn't know anything? I feel like it's really important as a parent to give advice. So men at sometimes can give advice, no?
So do you think that making general statements in a public forum on a YouTube channel is the same thing as giving your own daughter advice?
Oh, cool. So you do understand that just because I'm a man, it doesn't mean I can't give any advice to a woman ever.
But but the difference is that putting out on a public forum as a man is different than dealing with your own daughter in a
Okay, cool. So you
situation.
understand that sometimes men can give advice. Great. Now, can I give advice to a man? Can I say, hey, it's really important that, or not really important, but it's very helpful for your life to be independent at some point in between whenever you're dependent on your parents and dependent on a spouse, and learn what it feels like to be independent. You don't have to. I'm not dictating it, but it's very nice and it can help you. Can I say that to a man?
Do you want an actual response?
Yeah, you could try that.
Because the actual response to that, just like with the woman, with a young woman that has especially gone through that, where you like to tell them what is ideal to them, I would also tell you, be very cautious about not walking in somebody's shoes, not understanding what they went through and being judgmental about it. I will tell you that this is, in my opinion, and this isn't just you, Luke, and you're very smart, and I really appreciate you, which is why, I'm a patron, everybody sign up. But I will tell you that when I was your age, and when a lot of us that are watch your channel, we're all older than you. You know that. We went through some of the same questioning things about, how we talk to other people and what we think about other people as we do it. Hey, look, we know what the ideal could be, but we know not to dictate that, especially in a public forum like you have. And I think it's very important. Should
I recommend to people that they don't do drugs?
I think I think what you should do
hard drugs
is as you get bigger and you have so many more followers, because you're going to get there, dude. I know you're going to get there.
Thank you.
And when you do that, you should realize that there are a bunch of people from all over the world with all different perspectives watching you. For example, SB Doctor that was in there right now. Talked to her the other day. She's German. She's watching from Germany. She has a completely different perspective than you or I would have as an American. So understanding these bigger concepts about, what is appropriate and what's not, isn't just about...
God, the reason why I have a show is to give my perspective. If every single topic, if it relates to anyone who isn't also a straight white male, isn't also a gay white male, then literally, I wouldn't be able to talk about anything. I give my perspective, and my perspective is that it's ideal to be able to get out in the world and be independent before you marry someone. But you don't have to, and you can do whatever the freak you want, but I'm just giving you advice because that's my perspective, because that's what I do on a show that I'm giving my perspective on.
Let me tell you something. There's a difference between giving a perspective and then phrasing something that seems judgmental, dictatorial, or condescending.
Okay,
I think you got to dictatorial level of that. I don't think I've ever heard you say any one thing about anybody that you ever disagree with as condescending. I don't think I've ever heard you say that. And I don't think you would actually go there as a person. But at some point, if you don't realize who you are within the group or within...
Address my arguments, not my identity group. Explain to me why it's not a beneficial thing in society to encourage people to do what is best for them.
All right. Well, now this will get harsher. And I apologize.
And you're gonna mention my age, you're gonna mention my life experience, because you're not able to craft good arguments without saying that, oh, the reason I know more than you is because I'm older than you. If you actually knew more than me, you would be able to craft an argument that made that clear to everyone who is watching. But because you can't craft a clear argument of why I'm wrong, you just go back to, oh, I just know more than you.
Well, people that are watching understand the argument that I'm making. And I don't have to be watching the chat, because I'm not, to know that. This is not a negative at all about you, Luke, and that's why I was initially giving you the credit of that. But if you want me to disagree with the argument, that's really simple. You're making dictatorial statements that are so close to telling a woman what to do with her own self, her own body, what is ideal, just like the right-wing Republicans would ever do. And you don't see that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Doug, wow, this is profound. I cannot wait for you to watch this back and be like, dang, something went wrong in my brain. Because listen,
I'm good with it. I mean,
I need you to process this. What does the Republican Party do? They say it's illegal. It's illegal to get an abortion. Am I saying it should be illegal to get married in college? No. I think some college relationships work out beautifully. I'm saying for the best outcomes, if you were to ask my advice, I would say it's really helpful to learn how to be independent before you're dependent on somebody else. So then you know that you're in the relationship because you actually love the person and you want to be their partner, and not because you're dependent on them financially or otherwise.
That's not everybody's reality.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And it's important
Obviously.
for you to understand how that would sound to somebody that wasn't their reality that they are in right now as they're watching your channel, or as they were in at the age of 20, or that they might have been in at the age of 16. You have to, you just can't tell a woman what to do with her body. You just can't even suggest it. You shouldn't even tell her what
hey, guess what, Doug? You know what I do all the time? I say, hey, women, it's a really smart thing to drink water to stay hydrated. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I think it's a really smart thing to do to drink water, because guess what? It hydrates your body. That's a recommendation I make to all people, but guess what? I make it to women too in my life. And I don't think that's dictating to them that they have to do something. That's making me making a recommendation that is for in their best interest. I think that's my thought process, but they can decide to do what they want.
You understand the difference?
You can just admit that you're wrong. You don't have to keep going and going and going. You understand that you're wrong. Now you can just say it.
Take care of their basic needs, such as hydration, and telling them what is ideal for themselves and their body. You understand the difference between
do you consider a girl's hair a part of her body? Let's say sure. What if I said, no, you know what?
And I wouldn't tell a girl what to do with her hair.
Oh, really? You've never said, oh my God, you would look so cute with a pixie cut or whatever it's called. Dixie cut.
Unless I'm dating her or unless I'm married to her, I really have absolutely no right to tell somebody walking up and down the street. Your argument is the exact thing where, the women that are walking up and down the street get catcalls. Who, baby, you're hot. Oh, hey, turn for me, baby.
This is insane. Exactly, I literally think I'm about to wake up from a nightmare. This is literally nuts. I've never heard someone speak to me in such oh my God, you don't understand what's going on right now. This is unbelievable.
I love you too. I do understand.
I've already said I love what I know about you. This is not anything personal, but you're just being so dumb.
Well, and that's nice that you keep telling me how dumb and stupid I am.
No, you're not dumb and stupid. You're being dumb in this conversation.
Okay, well, that's good. That's your opinion. It is not mine. I am very happy with what I'm saying about this and being a young male and being careful about what you say to women and what you tell a woman their ideal is and should be. I will not ever pull off at that. I just know better. And so if that is then the argument, if you want me to like then saying, oh, you're infantizing me. I mean, if you want me to, if you want to put me in that kind of box, I'm not. All I'm saying is that I know better. And I think, Luke,
explain why.
You'll understand this perspective. Part because I've been on the earth longer, part because I am from a single mother, part because I have a sister who did go through some things, at a younger age.
Wait. Doug. Answer the question for me. Do you think that it would have been easier for your mother if she had some fairy godmother had come to her right before she got out of high school and gave her the gift of being financially able to be independent before she had you guys, and then she wouldn't have had to go into any of that and be dependent on someone who was abusive?
Luke, you know what made it harder? Is a bunch of men telling her what the ideal was as she already had 2 children. You know what made it harder for her to get her master's degree?
Hey, is your mom able to understand age? Is your mom?
I might get her on the phone.
Yeah, she would definitely disagree with you, and you'd feel embarrassed.
Oh, I think she would tell you off to the point that
If she's still awake at 1 a.m. my time, you can send this link to her.
We can't do this today, but we will do it.
Listen.
I mean, if this is a thing that you want to hear, I'll do it. I'll make sure.
Listen, Doug.
Yes, go. Don't patronize me when you're doing that.
Oh my God, me not patronize you? You started this whole thing. I can't remember, but it was like, oh my God, it was so long ago because all the technical issues.
I think just generally, Luke, you're a little intimidated by the fact that I am older, that I am gay, and I recognize my youth in you, which you have to understand is a credit.
Yes, Doug. I am so intimidated by people who are older than me. I'm so intimidated. And I'm also so intimidated by gay people.
Let me tell you, anybody that's listening, the ability that he has to walk up into Trump rallies, the ability he has, I have actually sent him suggestions on journalism courses that he should take because he's so freaking good at it. So I'm not telling you don't have balls. I'm not telling you don't have brains. I'm just telling you that I think you're wrong on this particular issue. And so, in the way that you view women at 20 years old.
So, okay, I want you to say for the audience, 20 years old this, 20 years old that. I want you to say for the audience that you believe no one should ever give anyone else advice, ever. Nice. If they're not the exact same identity group. Advice is horrible. It means that you're dictating to someone. It's not, hey, here's a little recommendation because I think this would be awesome for you, but you don't have to. Yeah. Answer this question, then I have another thing. Go.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how to answer that because I'm kind of that kind of question. I'm kind of actually, believe it or not, I'm on both sides with that because I don't think that you should ever dictate to some group of people as general as you did that you don't understand what's going on. However, you can also say on a different level that you wish this could happen or that could happen policy-wise. Those are things that are different. So if you said, hey, I wish that young women had the opportunity to go to college because I believe in community college. I wish young women could get a grant for because they have 2 kids, and then I wish that young women could have these other opportunities to build themselves. rather than saying, I believe that the ideal for women is X, Y, and Z. You know, you have absolutely no idea, especially sometimes in some of the minority communities where, you know, hey, a woman has 2 kids, and then all of a sudden, baby daddy goes away to prison. And, you know, you think it's stereotypical, but 25% of African-American women or African-American men end up in prison at some point in their life. And it's usually when they're younger. So if there's 2 or 3 kids at 2, 4, and 7 years old, you can't look at that woman and say, you did bad, honey, because you didn't pick the right guy.
Okay, you're gaslighting me so hard. Oh my God, this is nuts. This is crazy. Okay, I need you to really, really, really work to hear me on this.
Go.
How is telling someone who is in college that, hey...
Oh, now they're in college.
It's really...
Okay. Now they're in college.
Doug.
That's not what I said before. You just said in general, this is how women should be.
Doug.
You're telling me about, if it's a woman that's in college. Okay, let's go with that even.
Doug.
Because
Doug. I said that after college, it would be awesome to try this. Who else would I be giving advice to? Someone who's already past that time in their life? No, you give advice about the future to people who it is the future for.
If the women in your audience care enough, all they have to do is rewind to what you said. So...
Man or woman, before you get out and marry someone, if after you get out of college, before you immediately marry, if you learn how to be independent, and how I could never understand how difficult it is to be a single mother. But who he's talking to is college students primarily who haven't yet gotten out to the world and hopefully aren't mothers, because it's very difficult to be in college and to be in your teens or early 20s and be a mother. If you don't think that's difficult, then you're crazy. But clearly you're saying that is difficult, and I think it's difficult too. And that's why I think it's very helpful for someone's life. It'll be easier if before they have kids, before they're married, they go out and they're independent in the world. They don't have to. I'm not telling them what to do. They can do whatever they want. Why do you talk to me like this? You literally...
So
at the very beginning, I said, it's super, and the room that Charlie Kirk was talking to, that I was giving recommendations to, is a young women college age. And his advice that I was responding to, was, hey, if you get married, exactly, that's the sum up of it. And I said, hey, it's really helpful if... it's really nice that before you get married, instead of right out of college or right while you're in college, to have a little bit of time to get to know yourself, to be independent.
How about this, Luke? Before you even get to college, how about when you're 18 or 20 years old? How about you've had 2 children at that point? The husband leaves you.
Then this advice doesn't apply to you.
Or he just left you, and then you are stuck with 2 kids, and the ideal thing would have been to not do what you did. That's what you're saying to these people that could potentially be watching. It is incorrect. It is incorrect to put yourself in a situation that you have absolutely no idea about, to dictate what the ideal is to a group of people. That's just my opinion, and I'm not coming down on you. I just think on this specific thing, you're wrong. You're wrong. And that's all. I don't mean to be mean.
You're not being mean. I feel bad for you, because this is like unbelievable. I feel literally.
Worse. No, let me tell you, I feel way worse for you, in a way, because you're gonna eventually evolve into the idea and the position of, hey, I can't tell a woman what is ideal. You're gonna eventually get there, but it is a fact that the young male brain isn't developed until a certain age. And, you get to learn a lot more things. And this is exactly what this channel is about for you. You're learning a bunch of things, and you care so much. And so I'm just giving you that perspective, and I'm trying to be helpful in giving you that perspective. I'm not trying to be dictatorial, anti-anything. I'm not trying to be that, because that's not how our last conversation went. I got criticized a little bit by my father, and then I got lauded by my mother and my best friend because I was trying to pull it all together and make you see a bigger picture. Like I said to you in the email, I said to my dad, "Oh, I guess Luke was the gay son you always wanted," which is a joke because he didn't want it. You never wanted that. But everybody's got a different perspective on life, and I'm just telling you that when you dictate your perspective of what ideal is to certain people that might be watching your channel, it might be off-putting. That's the nicest way I can say.
So I really want to know, dear wise adult who really knows about life way better than I do, please let me know, how should I share my perspective about anything in regard to any people ever without it coming off dictatorial?
Now everybody that's watching, who's shitting on who now? Now everybody that's watching, please watch that. And please, consider that about what he'll listen to and what he won't. But, typical this age, and brilliant, by the way, he's brilliant. So he's questioning everything in life. I will tell you with that, I just think you just need to be more cautious. There is no immediate thing that I can tell you is a direction to go, because what you will learn over time, Luke, is ways to communicate with people that are different from you, that have different experiences from you. And the only thing that will allow you to do that more effectively is time. And I wish I could give you some other thing where you could bend your intelligence to a perspective, but that is not possible with this, because there are going to be many instances of this. That
Doug,
you see,
I have a astounding time, brilliant, beautiful, perfect, communicating with people who are of different identity groups than me, because when they say, "Hey, I'm trying to decide if I should marry this guy. What do you think?" I don't go, "I would never say anything that could possibly come out as possibly even hypothetically giving you any sort of advice on anything," because that would be so dictatorial. I would never. No, people of different identity groups like to talk to me because I'll tell them what I believe in a way that is also compassionate and kind if it's like a tough thing. But it's not tough to say, "Hey, it's pretty dope if you can try to be independent before you get out. If you can't, that's great. No problem."
Yeah, you didn't do all that. Hey, look, everybody. It's a re-whitewashing of what he actually said.
Nice, it's actually really good if after you get out of college, before you immediately marry, if you learn how to be independent and financially stable. Ideally, it's really helpful because then if you enter into a relationship and you get married with someone, you can know that you're with them because you love them and because they are a good partner for you, and not because you are financially or in any way dependent on them. And so it is very, very helpful to, if you have the opportunity to get out of college, and before you get up married with somebody, you teach yourself how to live by yourself and all those things. Ideally, that's really helpful for the rest of your life, but obviously not everyone can do that. Now, Doug, what is your problem?
He's backing off of it, which I'm fine with, because he's starting to get the bigger point. So I'm good with
God.
this.
No, I want you to know, you can say whatever you want about me, but I'm not getting your point right now. That can be clear to you.
No, you are. Hey, look, dude, you do get it. And I've watched you with other people that comment about things on the feed where you start to, there is a very, like remember when you broke up with that guy, you're like sitting there, blah, blah, blah. There was a very visceral reaction. There is a very visceral reaction when you are challenged on that feed and you start thinking about things in general.
Doug, if I had even the slightest bit of understanding your point, then maybe I could change my mind. But your point is so incoherent,
Hey, ladies,
I could not possibly take upon your opinion.
Hey, ladies, everybody understand that he doesn't understand the opinion. So if any of you want to tell him why he shouldn't dictate the perfection of what it would be in a relationship when you're young, please do that now. I'm not watching the feed, so please let him know. Leslie, I remember your name. But, please let him know that these are just things that he's not most able to speak about. It's not because he's dumb or uncompassionate or anything else. It's just a lack of knowledge about some things. And, you know, he doesn't have a vagina, as far as I know. And so it's very hard for him to talk about, you know, some of these things. I always do get off on the idea, you know, when liberals are always talk about, you know, women right to this, that, and everything else with their
Doug,
bodies.
you don't understand the difference between having a right to something and giving advice about something.
And then to turn around and do exactly what you just did.
Wow. Do you think that
It's
saying... Oh
crazy,
my God.
man.
Do you...
I mean,
Hey, Doug. If I say good night, is that me writing into law that you must have a good night? I'm forcing you to have a good night. No, I'm just saying something, and I would love if you could have a good night. That would be my preference. My preference would be you would have the easiest life as possible. I think one of the ways that you can make that happen is to be independent at some point in your life. If you can't make that happen, that's fine. There are some of the most amazing people that I know who have never had that opportunity, and a lot of times it comes down to you don't have the money, and that's totally admirable that you made it in life in a harder situation. I think it will be easier if you do have the opportunity to be independent at some point. It helps you learn things. It helps you manage yourself and know that any relationship I'm in the future is not because I have to be with them, it's because I want to be with them.
And anyone that is out there that realizes what being a single mother is about, independence also requires a father's interaction within what's going on to allow you as an independent mother to get further. So these are, you know, here's the thing. I just think, you know, Luke, you're a good guy. I just think it's going to take a minute for you to get the perspective on certain things.
So here's my question, Doug. Here's my question.
Look, dude, I'm not coming down on you. I can if you want.
You can do whatever you want. You literally could not possibly touch, even speck my emotions. So you can go as hard as you want if you'd like.
You know, I saw you at the Trump rallies. I start to believe some of what you're saying right now, because I've also been the same way. So go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm saying you can go as hard as you would like. I don't care.
I just want to hear your question. Did you have a question for me, or are we done?
It feels weird to end it because I feel like
no, I've made my point.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna ask. So you say you just need some time, you need to age. What about all the people I know who give advice like that all the time who are your age or older?
I'm sorry, I don't understand exactly.
You said you just need you're so young, you just need more time and you'll learn, you'll come to this opinion. I'm saying, what about all of the people who are your age or older who also give similar advice? Because I heard this advice from people who were older. I was given it as a kid.
Here's the thing, and this is why it's good that we don't really know each other. Because I've given this advice before to people that I barely know or have just met or whatever. And I mean, let's not dance around this. I mean, you are a certain age, and that is a blessing and a curse. I'm very glad that you stopped wearing those suits because you looked like a little boy that was trying to dress up and play important.
Are you getting to a point here? Is there an answer to my question?
You are important. You are doing great discourse.
Stop giving me such nice compliments.
You don't like compliments?
Not in this setting.
Stop worrying that everything has to happen right now. You're young. It's okay. It's fine.
Doug, I have parents. Doug, I have parents and I have mentors who are older than me. I don't need someone to teach me that I'm young and will grow up and know more things.
You hear enough from them?
That has nothing to do with the opinions that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, no, it does, because I think the opinions will evolve.
They won't. I just asked you a question, and don't avoid the question. Why is it that older people give just this a very similar advice as I give? If whenever you grow up, you learn that you can't give advice like that.
I didn't understand the crux of the question. I am sorry. I thought you meant other older people that you talk to say the same things that I do when I'm talking to you. Okay. Why do older people say the same things as you? That is like two things. That's a justification in some way for saying ignorant Actually, I shouldn't say ignorant. Lack of experience things, that's sad. But on second point, I don't know why people have opinions that they do. I mean, I don't know why anybody would have ever voted for Trump. I don't know a lot of things. There are a lot of things in the world that I don't know. I just try to figure out what I can at the time that I have discourse with people like you, Luke, and try to figure out things for myself. And I hope that's what you take from your channel as a whole. I hope that's what you take a little bit when you go out to those Trump rallies, that you also listen.
Okay, so you really don't think that it's appropriate for you or me to say to someone who's in college or something, hey, you should probably study. You should probably study. That'll really help you with school.
Well, now again, the discourse has changed again. Now it's you talking about somebody in college.
Oh my God, you're gonna be so embarrassed when you watch this back. We were talking about people in college.
Now it's
Mother, but who he's talking to is college students primarily who haven't.
About somebody that should.
Doug, if I'm talking about deciding if you're going to, listen to me. Listen, please listen to this. I said up front, it's good in between being dependent on your parents. When are you dependent on your parents? Until after college, right? If you go to college, usually, sometimes even before that, even if you go to college.
This economy longer, kid. I mean,
okay, so sometime in that time frame is what we were talking about, because I said it's good in between being dependent on your parents and being dependent on someone else to be independent. So I'm asking you, as a analogy, if, let's not say necessarily a college age student, but anyone who's in any educational format, is it offensive and bad, or not even offensive? No, don't interrupt me. Not offensive. Is it bad in any way, or would you condemn someone saying to someone who's in an educational system, hey, it's really helpful to study? You don't have to. I'm not forcing you to, but it's really helpful to study. That helps you in school.
Let's even just go with that.
Yeah, you see how absurd that is.
It would be like me, who you have indicated don't know you as a person, dictating to you what is ideal and right for you.
Yes, it's ideal to study in school. That helps you at school.
And I'm not going to do that. I specifically have walked away from doing that. And when you thought I was doing that, I specifically sent you emails to say, I'm sorry if that's the way you perceived it. I will just tell you that I wouldn't even do that with you as a male, as a gay male who has more in common with me. But I definitely swear to God, I would never do that with a young female that has way less in common with me, that I don't understand that experience. And I would hope that
you don't understand the experience of a young woman being in college and it would help her to study. No, you don't need to know her identity to know it'll be helpful to study.
Oh, okay. So you don't need to know. So you don't need to know if that woman with 2 children has to go out and work a full-time job and then study at night. You don't have to know if that woman can't go to school because she's dyslexic. You don't know if that woman can't go because she doesn't have child care with her parents because one of them is incarcerated or dead. You don't know a lot, Luke. And if that's how you want me to define that for you, I don't want to be mean. I just am saying that there's a lot of things that you don't know to make a blatant statement like that. And especially being a young male dictating something to women about what is the ideal. And that's the only thing that bothers me, is that you dictated, oh, I agree with this right winger about what the ideal is.
The one, why would you wait to go get a career at some stupid company, and then why would you do that exactly? If you believe.
Oh my gosh. Here's why. First of all, you don't have to. But one of the things...
I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be freaking kidding me. It just was lack of thought about it. And it's not anything wrong or mean. It's just that, I don't know if you thought about it before you said it because you were going off the video, but I'm just asking you to, please look at a bigger perspective, especially as your channel is about to climb. Look at a bigger perspective in the way that people will perceive you
Why would anyone want to come watch my channel if I never gave an opinion on anything, if it involved any group of people that wasn't me?
There's a difference between giving an opinion and being, okay, condescending.
Okay, tell me how to give the advice I gave without being condescending.
That time, because the first and second tier didn't work with you, so I went to condescending third tier. On that, I mean, there's a difference. There's just a freaking difference.
Show it.
I mean,
Show it.
Show what?
Ready? Here's my example, and this is the condescending version. And then you give the same advice that's not condescending. Okay, ready? Hey guys, I really think that man or woman, honestly, but whenever you're getting out of the college, it's really helpful. You don't have to, but it's really helpful to be independent at some point and teach yourself all of the necessary things to be an independent person. You pay your own rent, you learn your own finances, all of those types of, you pay your own tax, all those things before you're in such a dedicated and committed relationship where you're living with someone else and i.e. being married. If you're also married, then you're sharing finances and you don't understand how to do those things by yourself sometimes. And so then it's really helpful to get that experience alone. And the beautiful thing about it that helps you in relationships is once you're in a relationship, if you had that time being independent, it tells you that I'm with this person because I love them and I want to be, not because I'm dependent in any way at all.
Well, Luke, keep going. I'm like,
so no. Tell me. I don't care. Tell me the non-condescending way.
First off, you completely rewrote everything that we've even been talking about up until this point.
And I said it's actually really good if after you get out of college, before you immediately marry, if you learn how to be independent and financially stable. Ideally, it's really helpful because then if you enter into a relationship and you get married with someone, you can know that you're with them because you love them and because they are a good partner for you and not because you are financially or in any way dependent on them. And so it is very, very helpful to, if you have the opportunity to get out of college and before you get up married with somebody, you teach yourself how to live by yourself and all those things. Ideally, that's really helpful for the rest of your life, but obviously not everyone can do that. Now, Doug, what is...
Hey, it's great because you know what? That shows that you're learning. How I would start it differently is that this is exactly how I would start that same conversation. Hey, everybody. I don't walk in everybody's shoes. I don't understand, certain things. But to me, from my perspective, it seems like the most optimal thing would be, if you could stay with a partner. Horribly different conversations, because the conversation that you're giving is almost like the right-wingers are giving at CPAC. What I'm saying is acknowledging the differences, acknowledging your disability to understand the tired perspective. But if you say, from my perspective, this is what it is, what do you all think? If you even throw that in at the end, then you get the conversation started and going.
How do I ask someone who's not here? How do I ask a group of conservative women that I'm watching on a pre-recorded video?
You have said that you have conservatives that watch your channel. You've said that. You brag about it. You talk about it. I mean, so great. You do. So you do understand that there's at least some people that are watching your channel. I mean, why give them the fodder? Why give them the ability to come at you, to do that? I don't know. It's just my thought, man. I mean, I'm really, again, I love you as a commentator, and I love what you're doing and what you're trying to do. And I think there's some absolute fucking skill there. I think there's skill there. That's why I've spent the time with you that I haven't seen in a long time. So
thank you.
I just think on this one thing that you're just, and I think that, if you look back on this video 3 years from now, seriously, when you're 23, you look back on this video, you'll be like, all right, I get a little bit more of what he's saying. I still don't like that guy, but I still get a little bit more.
It has nothing to do with me liking you or not.
I think there's sometimes, this is the difference in age. I think sometimes, and actually I should also say in culture, because the younger set in general, when there's social media involved, personalize a lot of stuff. This is what's happening, with our country, and this is a real problem. So I think you're smart enough to not necessarily do that, but I think that there's always an aspect, because of the way you were raised, not remembering when the internet didn't exist, that you personalize some of it. And so, that's my bias, thinking that everybody at this age personalizes everything. I don't think you do that. And so, but I think that there is an aspect to that. So I hope you understand that. And I'm being nice about it, because I don't know if you understand it, and it's not anything about you. I just hope you understand that this is a disagreement, and I love everything about your channel and everything you're going to do in the future, because you have one. Whether you know it or not, it's not the direction you think it's going to be, but you have one.
Thank you. Well, I guess that's a sweet place to end it. I always enjoy chatting with you.
Until the next time I tell you to fuck yourself.
Yes, do it. Anytime you want, you're always welcome. Now we know that Skype works really well, so you're always welcome to challenge me about anything.
It'll be a Skype. Yeah, I don't like doing this. This is a very strange thing for me. But now I've done it twice, because I don't give a shit, because, it was my birthday yesterday. And I'm still drunk.
Happy birthday.
And I'm still drunk from yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I did that completely blasted. So if you want to know how dumb Luke is, I did it half drunk.
Wow. You showed me for the idiot that I am. Okay, well, you are I know you don't believe that. I know you're very complimentary, and I appreciate that. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Night, I mean. And good night.
Bye.
Bye. By the way, everyone, let me do this. That offer stands to everyone. What I said to him, you're always welcome. If you disagree with me, did I mark my face when I did that? I did. Ew. There must have been black stuff on the newspaper. If you disagree, don't just tell me in the chat, but then don't just sit there. Be ready to hop on either Zoom, Skype, or Discord and chat with me. Okay.